Stuart McDade, Wim Hof coach here. This is a really short video to show you the real key technique to do the Wim Hof breathwork. So if you're about to do Wim Hof breathwork for the first time, whether it's on Zoom or coming to the studio or a Wim Hof workshop, this will give you a little head start and you can even practice. The number one indicator of how long you're going to live is your lung capacity. So getting good technique and a good system like the Wim Hof method is just brilliant for a daily practice. So just before we do that, I'll explain very briefly the Wim Hof method, what it actually does in terms of the effects on the body. It will change the chemistry of the body. When we do the number of breaths and the techniques that I'll show you, we're actually going to take the body into a state of alkali. We're going to alkali the blood, take it out of an acidic stress state, which is a state that if you're in a sort of acidic stress state, it can cause inflammation and lack of sleep and fight or flight type feelings. So we're going to take the body at a nice parasympathetic, relaxed state by the end of the breathing, which will allow the body to go temporarily alkali and then stabilise back to normal. The breathwork will actually reduce inflammation, it will bring up anti-inflammatory effects in the body, which is really brilliant for people with issues in their body. It will reduce stress, which is why you'll all have a great sleep after this. And as I said earlier, it will really get these muscles going. The lungs are passive, so it's the muscles round about the diaphragm and intercostals and up into the neck and the trapezius that actually draw and create the vacuum to get the oxygen in. So how do we do it? So in a nutshell, I'll do this sort of standing and then I'll show you lying down. You actually want to initiate the breath from the belly and use the diaphragm. So when you breathe in, so if you put your fingertips together over the belly, when you breathe in, the belly should go out. So if you watch me, into the belly, and as I breathe out, the diaphragm relaxes and the belly comes back in. So breathe in. If you've been breathing inverted, like from the upper chest, you might find this a little bit tricky, but it's really worth practicing. So breathe into the belly and back out. I'll show you another wee technique just to make sure that you've actually got that initial breath into the belly. And that's if you lie face down and just put your head on your hands and breathe into the belly so that you feel the belly pushing into the floor and you'll feel your lower back rising. And you get that biofeedback as the belly pushes down. So it's really important that you initiate the Wim Hof breath work from the belly first and then up into the chest in one big fluid movement. So like this, belly up into the chest, almost into the neck area. And then you don't breathe it all out, you just sort of relax the muscles and let come out what wants to come out. You can use the nose or the mouth. If your nose is a bit blocked, the mouth's fine. If the nose is nice and clear, it's quite good. Even if you're a beginner, it's quite good to breathe in through the nose. If you're advanced, you can actually go with mouth breathing. So at the beginning, breathe in through the nose or mouth, but if everyone just sighs it out through the mouth. So what we do when we do the Wim Hof breath work, we'll get you to lie down, get comfortable. If you're doing it at night, you might want to lie in the bed or get a yoga mat. Get maybe a glass of water, get a blanket, something to keep you warm because your temperature might fluctuate. And you just simply lie back and you can either have the legs straight or the legs bent, and we'll do somewhere between 30 to 40 big deep breaths like I just showed you. So belly, chest, sigh it out. Belly, chest, sigh it out. The fullest breaths you can. We'll do a sequence of them, and then when we get to a specific number, I'll say, right, make this the last breath. You breathe out and you just leave the lungs empty and you don't breathe back in, and we go for a certain period of time. And when that period of time ends, you take a big breath in and you hold it in for 15 seconds and then you just let it go and we do the next round. So we'll usually do 3 or 4 rounds, and we usually do between 30 to 40 breaths to build up, and each time we do it, we're lowering the carbon dioxide, which is your body's impulse to breathe. So that gets lower, the oxygen gets higher, we change this oxygen carbon dioxide tension, which is where all the magic and the chemistry changes happen, and it's easier to hold your breath. So round 2 you'll hold a little bit longer, 10 or 15 seconds, round 3 longer again, and round 4 maybe even up to 2 minutes without breathing. So it shows that you're really getting the chemistry changes. You might get little bits of tingling, you might feel elated, you might feel sleepy, you might feel hot or cold, the lips tingling. That just means it's working and you're changing the chemistry. These are all good signs. You might even feel a state of euphoria, which is really good, especially towards the end. And if you're doing the breath work with me, whether it's Zoom or in the studio, I'll have music on, and you can even have like incense for yourself, just to create a smell and a whole emotion around about it. So the music's quite powerful, and then at the end of it we do a relaxation. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video and it's given you a little head start so you can prepare for the breathwork session that you're about to do, and really focus on breathing into that belly first. One big fluid movement, like a wave, in and out. Okay? So if you have any questions, just message me and I'll get back to you. But ultimately, enjoy the breathwork and the future days, future years of bringing this into your life as a healthy practice.